Cuphead is a throwback in more ways than one. There's the graphic style that flashes back to the old-school cartoon shorts of the 1930s, the hand-drawn style made famous by the earliest days of Disney, Warner Bros. And MGM Studios, the classic tracking effects from vintage films, and the familiar opening scratch from the monaural sound of a vinyl record. Then there's the throwback in the other way, also flashing back to the earliest days of video games, in the sense of pure unforgiving difficulty. There's no other way to say this. Cuphead is hard. It is throw your controller in anger hard. But what makes Studio MDHR's platforming boss rush game such a treat is that it modernizes the formula just enough to make it worth trying again endlessly. It's almost impossible not to marvel at what Studio MDHR has been able to pull off with Cuphead from a presentation standpoint. The opening of this review touched upon it briefly, but there's such a strong devotion to the 1930s theme that permeates throughout the entire game. The grainy vintage film effect starts from the opening credits and never goes away for anything. The loading screen is a grainy black screen with an old hourglass that flips around. Even the main menu keeps the grainy effect over the player's profile picture. It extends through the game, with a hand-drawn overworld, enemies that are capably hand-drawn to look like something out of an old Merry Melody short. Bosses aren't killed, but rather get knocked out and left seeing stars, with old-school dizzy lines. On top of that, every level is preceded with an old-timey title card, as if it's setting up a cartoon short. It's thematically brilliant, and both the art and audio teams should be commended for Cuphead's presentation. The story fits in with that old aesthetic, as well. Cuphead and Monkman sneak into the Devil's Casino and get a little too cocky and wind up losing their souls in a game of craps. To appease the Lord of Darkness and his block-headed lackey, King Dice, Cuphead and Monkman must battle bosses across the land, all of whom are delinquent in their debts to the devil. The cutscenes in between worlds are delightful, and the only complaint here is that they're all too brief. Scenes with the devil and King Dice are a delight, and it would have been nice to see more of them.